What exactly happened to the DDA, and where did it come from? The US, China, India, EU, and many other countries came together in order to establish rules and regulations concerning trade and development. Many of them wanted different things, so it was hard to come to an agreement on any one agenda. At first, it looked hopeful, with the GATT talks from 1947 to 1986 achieving some basic agreements which spurred on the global economic growth. Through many rounds of talks, they managed to set some ground rules. However, they needed more cooperation to reduce conflict and promote trade. So during the Geneva-Uruguay round talks, the WTO was created. And after its creation, trade and development agreements exploded. And now with the Doha Development Agenda talks, which started in 2001, numerous nations have come together to talk about various issues concerning trade and development. These issues are broad and far-reaching, but at the same time, they are specific. For example, first, agriculture, the aim of which is to create more market access, eliminate export subsidies, reduce distorting domestic support, and sort out a range of developing country issues and deal with non-trade concerns such as food security and rural development. Non-agricultural market access, also known as NAMA, as the aim to reduce or as appropriate eliminate tariffs, including the reduction or elimination of high tariffs, tariff peaks and tariff escalation, as well as non-tariff barriers, in particular on products of export interest to developing countries. Third is services, the aim of which is to improve market access and to strengthen the rules. Each government has the right to decide which sectors it wants to open to foreign companies and to what extent, including any restrictions on foreign ownership. Fourth is trade facilitation, the aim of which is to ease customs procedures and to facilitate the movement, release, and clearance of goods. This is an important addition to the overall negotiation since it would cut bureaucracy and corruption in customs procedures and would speed up trade and make it cheaper. Next is rules. These cover anti-dumping, subsidies and countervailing measures, fishery subsidies, and regional trade agreements. Next is the environment, which has two key components. First is freer trade in development environmental goods. Products that WTO members have proposed include wind turbines, carbon capture and storage technologies, and solar panels. The second is environmental agreements, improving collaboration to establish more coherence between trade and environmental rules. Next is intellectual property concerning wines and spirits, and finally, some dispute settlements concerning bioprivacy, benefit sharing, and traditional knowledge.
So what exactly has the DDA achieved or not achieved so far? Well, let's start with the bad news. Since there are so many states involved, it is very hard to come to an agreement on even one single subject. So it's quite understandable that negotiations have broken down numerous times. For example, the failure of the Cancun Ministerial in September 2003, the suspension of general negotiations in July 2006, and the failure of the July package in July 2008. Hearing all this, you might wonder, what's the point of all these talks if nothing comes out of it? Well, you see, this is the good thing about these talks. Through discourse, states can know what others want and try to adjust their agendas to fit with others, so that compromises can be made and negotiations continued. So after a lot of bartering and bantering, the DDA has produced a Bali package, the crown jewel of the talks so far. So what is the Bali package and what does it entail? The Bali package, which is also known as the Bali Ministerial Declaration, was created on December 7, 2013, and its decisions were adopted by ministers in Bali and the General Council in November 2014. Now you may be wondering what's so great about this Bali package. The Bali package is divided into two parts. Part 1 covers regular work under the General Council, which made 5 separate agreements, TRIPS non-violation and situation complaints, work program on electronic commerce, work program on small economies, aid for trade and transfer of technology. Part 2 covers ministerial agreements made directly through the Doha talks and includes decisions on agriculture, cotton development, and LDC issues. As you can see, the Bali package covers a wide range of topics that could potentially sort out problems in many sectors of international trade. So overall, has the DDA been successful or not? Well, you can decide on that for yourself, but after balancing out some of the failures and successes of the DDA talks, we thought that the DDA was unsuccessful in bringing about any significant game changers which would level out the playing field for the players within the DDA. Ultimately, how successful can a group of such diverse states be when they all want different things? They take so long to agree on even one thing, so imagine if they're trying to reach agreements on multiple things. Yes, that's right, it would take centuries. However, taking that into consideration, the Doha talks have done very well in producing at least one package, and we'll just have to wait and see what the future holds for the Doha talks.